so good to know that you're there as we come your way on this special edition of our AKBC 45 News at 8, this Sunday News Special. We are here to bring you some very important news items, and we are glad you're waiting for us. Let me allow the beautiful lady beside me to introduce herself first.
My name is Mercy Akira, and it's good to know you're here with us tonight.
Yes, I'm Blessing is some of you, and straight ahead we'll bring you the headlines that we have for you this evening. Government, people of Akwa Ibom appreciate God for Governor Moino's victory at Supreme Court.
Governor Moino beloved Professor Inudoka's contributions to educational development as he turns 61.
Akwa Ibom State Government pledges to uphold partnership with NDDC for sustainable development.
Also, consultant gynecologist hints on symptoms of fibroid.
These and more are the headlines that we have for you this Sunday evening. Stay on and enjoy yourself. Good evening. Okay, the first news item that we have for you is that Akwa Ibom people today gathered at the All Nations Christian Ministry International Eket for a special Thanksgiving service to appreciate God for granting the present state government victory at the Supreme Court in all the 27 court cases on the gubernatorial elections last year. The governor, Pastor Moino, led his wife, Patience, his deputies, state executive members, lawmakers, the PDP hierarchy, and members in thanksgiving, acknowledging God as the one who gave him victory up to the Supreme Court. At the service, which was attended by the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, and wife, Ekaite, Governor Moino acknowledged the independence of the judiciary in all cases and thanked Akwa Ibom people for having faith in him and voted him into office during last year's general election. He called on those who opposed him to close ranks and partner his administration in order to deliver dividends of good governance to the people. We hope to bring you details of this particular story in our subsequent bulletin.
All right. I want to say congratulations to the governor of Akwa Ibom State, and of course the people of Akwa Ibom State,
yes,
on that victory. The Supreme Court affirmed his victory on, I think, January 11.
Yes.
And then affirmed his victory of the March 18, 2023 elections. Right.
And today was a Thanksgiving. So congratulations to the governor and his team, and indeed to all of us.
And it's worthy of mention that some events preceded the Thanksgiving service. Yeah. We had a 3-day statewide crusade, and medical outreach, which usually happened in the mornings, courtesy of the Akwa Ibom State government.
Yeah.
Right. Time to
second story.
Yes. So the next story tonight, Governor Moino has said that it is needful for the state government to continue to partner and collaborate with the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, to achieve the purpose of the commission. The governor stated this at a board and management retreat organized by the Niger Delta Development Commission on the theme Renewed Hope, an era for vitality, peace and development. A Government House reporter, Otebi Malkun, says the retreat hosted at 4 Points by Sheraton, Ikorepini, was declared open by the Minister of Niger Delta Development, Abubakar Momo.
Represented by his deputy, Senator Kuneyahi, Governor noted that the objectives of the commission are in line with the ARISE agenda to provide life life-touching and infrastructural development projects to the people of Niger Delta. Consequently, that the state's partnership with NNDC will bring positive impact to the youth of Akwa Ibom. He told the board that Akwa Ibom has a line of peace with the policy and the decision of the present administration target education of young people and identify numerous projects that will affect the people of the state. He commended the board for working together to achieve a common goal and bringing new hope of vitality, peace, and development to the people of Niger Delta, and promised to ensure that the benefit of the commission gets to the people of the state. The governor, while being appreciative to the board for choosing Akwa Ibom for the retreat, wished them a peaceful deliberation.
The team of NDDC on getting into the state acknowledged not just a government that is ready to partner, ready to work, ready to collaborate with NDDC to achieve the purpose, the objective of the commission. That act was very, very significant. I want to, on behalf of the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Mo Obasieno, welcome you to Akwa Ibom State and also to appreciate you for taking the decision to hold the retreat in Akwa Ibom State.
Earlier, the Minister of Niger Delta Development, Engineer Abubakar Momo, in a keynote address said the retreat presents an opportunity to examine some of the factors that mitigate effective operation and resourceful progress of NNDC in the previous years, while hoping on positive, impactful changes by the Commission's new board.
In specific terms, today marks a rebirth of another era in the management of NDDC. And I must say that for all of us here present, this retreat presents us with the opportunity to interrogate and prescribe solutions in our collective quest for sustainable development of the Niger Delta region. However, with the new board in place, I am more confident that we shall strike the right accord in our collective efforts to deliver on the mandate of the Commission towards the development of the Niger Delta region.
The chairman of the NDDC covering board, Mr. Chidu Ebi, in his remarks assured that the current team of the commission will help transform the Niger Delta region into a region that is socially stable, economically prosperous, politically peaceful, and ecological regenerative. Mr. Ebi said the commission will intensify its project monitoring efforts to ensure timely delivery of quality projects across the region. The retreat was attended by a conglomerate of NDDC directors, assistant directors, former directors, as well as board chairman of the firm, and some active ministers and senators in the country. Utubi Maokon, AKBC News.
Okay, this partnership is for the benefit of Akwa Ibom people. What do you think?
I think so too.
We are blessed.
That's right. And just like the deputy governor said, the NDDC's mandate is in tandem with the Arise agenda.
Yes.
That's right. The NDDC's mandate has to do with positioning the commission to properly improve the lot of the people of the Niger Delta. It's also in tandem with the Arise agenda of Governor Umoino.
So, it's a good development. Okay, we move on to the next story. Governor Umoino has described a one-time National Assembly representative of Ini-Kono Federal Constituency, Professor Ini Udoka, as a loyal patriot. The governor said this at the 61st birthday celebration of Professor Udoka held at Ibom Icon Hotels. The report.
Governor Umoino, while congratulating Professor Ini Udoka for turning 61,
thanked God for his life and described him as a selfless man who displays maturity in all his endeavors. Represented by his political advisor, Prince Godwin Togode, Governor Moina felicitated the birthday boy for contributing to educational development of the state by publishing books to ensure that people tap from his wealth of experience. The state chief executive also bought the 2 books published by the celebrator.
I want to bring to you a message of felicitation from that golden man for this golden era in Akwa Ibom State, His Excellency Pastor Umar Basi. I want to say that he extends his fellowship to you, his goodwill to you. He wishes you well, recognizing all of those things he has known of you. He says you are a stable character.
The immediate past governor of Abia State, Mr. Kozie Ikpeazu, who chaired the occasion, hinted of Professor Udoka's hard work, commitment, and tenacity while the duo did their PhD program.
Back in the days in school, you know that we have many people who have no classmates at all. I met Udoka in the PhD hostel, but I saw a young man that inspired me a lot for several reasons. One was his tenacious belief in God.
Goodwill messages by friends of the celebrator, including Archbishop Emaisong and Pastor Silvanus Okafia, all pointed to the celebrator's honest and jovial nature, while the chairman of the planning committee, Mr. Emmanuel Ekpeyon, bade his mind.
I received that invitation. In the land you bought, in the church you built, for God.
As a member of the House of Representatives, he helped in making very good laws for this country.
I would say he's a silent achiever. 20, 30 years, he will continue to receive the reward of all his silent labors over the years.
He's a lover of humanity, he's a lover of education, and he's a man who believes in the progress and the development of the new government area.
He acknowledges the supremacy of God. I want to say that Professor Udoka is a very bold person. He's somebody that will tell you the truth at any point in time. I wish him a very glorious future.
He has contributed a lot to the development of history as a course, as a program in this country.
I think he has been a man we've all looked up to, both politically and academically. He has carved a niche for himself.
Professor Udoka is a gentleman to the core. He is a very principled man.
He's a good man. In Udoka is not just a politician, but he's a statesman.
In a man's life, there are 2 things. Every man takes very cognizant the day he's born and the day he's dying. But we don't know when we are dying. So it's always good for you to celebrate the day you were born.
The celebrator, Professor Udoka, expressed gratitude to God for keeping him and also saluted the governor as well as his friends who came to celebrate him.
I wanted to celebrate my 60th birthday. And of course, it would have been the first birthday in my life as this one has been now. But I told myself I needed a legacy to draw so that tomorrow, even if I am not around again in the academia, people will know I did something when I was there. So when I decided to do this big day, I reflected on the people I have met in the course of my life.
2 books authored by the birthday boy, Economic Social History and Brazil Wall, were reviewed by Professor Otto Basiekpan of the Akwa Ibom State University and presented to the public, while Professor Udoka cut his birthday cake.
Letter, and the last one you have to shout, a letter.
Happy birthday to you. Hip, hip.
event featured ballad and cultural displays as well as buffet.
Wow, that was beautiful, celebrating that great man. Professor Udoka was a former commissioner for education in Akwa Ibom State and a member of the National Assembly, and he's a great son of in a local government area. So the celebration is well deserved.
We join his people and of course the entire Akwa Ibom people to say happy birthday to him.
Okay, we'll take a short break at this point. When we come back, long grains rice hits 77,000 naira a bag in Nigeria. And Distillers and Blenders Association of Nigeria calls for reverse on ban of sachet alcoholic drinks. Don't go away. So good to know that you're still there. Welcome back. We take the next story, which is on fibroid. Medical statistics have shown an increase in the prevalence of incidents of fibroid disease. Research also shows that 1 in every 10 women between the ages of 25 and 40 have disturbing uterine fibroids with symptoms like heavy menstrual bleeding, back pain, frequent urination, and that this non-cancerous tumor can grow in and out of the uterus. Yagano Paul talked with consultant gynecologist in the University of Uyo Teaching Hospital for more on this medical condition.
While fibroid has become a disturbing medical concern in the society, the good news is that small-sized fibroids often don't need treatment, but larger fibroids can be treated with medications or surgery. Uterine fibroids are growths made up of muscle and connective tissue that form in or on the wall of a uterus. These growths are usually benign and are the most common non-cancerous tumor in women, and people are assigned female at birth. Uterine fibroids are symptomatic, and people without the symptoms may not be aware that they have fibroid. According to experts, fibroids can grow as a single nodule, one growth, or in a cluster. Clusters of fibroids can range in size from 1 millimeter to more than 20 centimeters, 8 inches in diameter, or even larger. For comparison, fibroids can be as small as a seed or get as large as a watermelon. There are different types of uterine fibroids depending on where they are located and how they attach, and specific types of uterine fibroids include intramural fibroids embedded into the muscular wall of the uterus. They are the most common type. Submucosal fibroids grow under the inner lining of the uterus. Subsessual fibroids grows under the lining of the outer surface of the uterus. It can become quite large and grow into pelvis. Our consultant gynecologist, Dr. Nimfana Bara, explains further.
Usually does not behave like cancer. It does not spread. Fibroid actually is the commonest growth you can find in the reproductive parts of women. As a matter of fact, over half of women are living with fibroid, even though most of them do not know, and because it doesn't cause problems to them. So you could have a woman with a very big tummy equating about 9-month pregnancy, and then you open up and see that you get one huge fibroid that's there. So you could see the other one that is not even so big, then you open up and realize that the uterus is being seeded by over 50 fibroid nodules. So any woman can actually have fibroid.
They are also less common in menopausal women. A feeling of fullness in the lower abdomen, frequent urination, pain during sex are all symptoms of fibroid, according to Dr. Abara.
Fibroid is largely asymptomatic. most people that have fibroids do not have any symptoms at all. Like I said, over 50% of women are living with fibroids. The commonest symptom is heavy menstrual bleeding. About 50% of women with fibroids have heavy menstrual bleeding. Sometimes you may begin to bleed in clots. Yeah, you can have abdominal swelling, but it doesn't mean that a woman with flat tummy may not be living with fibroids. Multiple fibroids in the uterus, but they are not large enough to actually protrude for people to see.
What do most people know about fibroid?
Making that the tummy will be bigger as if they are pregnant. Fibroid. I heard about this. Fibroid can destroy a womb. But the person that has fibroid, the tummy will be big. Whereas as if she's pregnant and the belly will be lean. So if you live normally, and you treat it locally, that makes you live better, you can be treated and go for it.
It may likely prevent a woman from conceiving. So, but if you have a good root therapist, I think it could also serve.
I know that when there's no child in the womb, something must take the place.
What causes fibroid?
So many of those risk factors. One of them is race, black race. Africans are 2 to 3 times more likely to develop fibroid than their white counterparts. Early menarche and late menopause. What I mean is a girl child who starts menstruating quite early, maybe 12 years or even earlier, and then a woman who is still menstruating into advanced age. More of the female sexual hormone, notably the estrogen, in their system, and estrogen is what feeds fibroid. It encourages the growth of fibroid. We have women who do not get pregnant, also at risk. We call them nulliparous women. You see, women who have up to 2 or more children have about half the risk of developing fibroid when you compare them to their counterparts who have not had any pregnancy. Obesity is one of them, or sedentary lifestyle has also been identified. Women are asked if smoking is one of the risk factors to developing fibroid. The answer is no. Smoking is actually protective against fibroid. Again, I'm not advising that women should smoke.
It is said that treatment of fibroid varies from herbs, roots, and drugs to shrinking it. How true is this? And in essence, what is the best treatment for fibroids, according to the consultant gynecologist?
A lot of women have gotten pregnant with fibroids. Even the most unusual circumstances where you have very huge fibroids in the womb. So after surgery for uterine fibroid, women have a chance of getting pregnant. Fetal concoction is not known to be the treatment for fibroid. Yes, and as a matter of fact, some of them may actually jeopardize the effort to actually treat the fibroid, because some of them contain what we call phytoestrogens. If a fibroid is not causing you any problem, it's not causing any trouble with the fibroid alone, so that you also have medications that can be taken for fibroids. Some are also drugs that have been used to attempt to shrink the fibroids. One, they are very expensive, and then the side effects, some of them have very terrible side effects that you wouldn't want to have. So you could have a surgery where you remove the fibroid and leave the womb alone. That's called myomectomy. Then you could have a surgery where you take off the entire uterus, the entire womb with the fibroid. That is called hysterectomy.
It is important to visit a doctor on this matter than taking leaves and concoctions, especially on self-medications, to avoid damaging the kidney and other vital organs in the body. Eyageno Paul, KBC News.
Well, it's sad. I was listening to hear if there's any way one can prevent this, but it looks like there's nothing you can do. So if you know you have it, or if you have the symptoms, just see a doctor, and then please avoid self-medication. It's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous.
Like the medical expert there said, the major risk factor is just being a black woman,
Yeah.
you are at risk of having the growth within your uterus,
which you did not choose.
Which you did not choose, which you wouldn't even want, you know.
It's okay. Let's move on.
All right. Now, when last did you buy a bag of rice or cups of rice? How much did it cost? Report says foreign rice has hit 77,000 naira a bag. This is not the best times for Nigerian families who have had to adopt bizarre cost-cutting measures to cope with the recent hardship occasioned by the dramatic hike in the prices of goods and services. Several of them have lamented that their income could no longer take care of their daily needs, adding that the prices of staples had almost tripled in the market. Rice, which is arguably one of the commonest consumed staples in the country, has risen to 77,000 naira per bag. In December, the National Bureau of Statistics stated that the country's inflation rate rose to 28.9%. The December headline inflation rate showed an increase of 0.72% when compared to the previous month's rate. In recent years, food prices have been on the rise across Nigeria. The situation deteriorated due to the impact of government policies such as removal of fields of subsidy on petrol and the free fall of the naira in the foreign exchange market. Foodstuff sellers in major cities have lamented that the cost of a bag of rice had risen almost 200%, with long grain rice, which used to sell for between 45,000 naira and 50,000 naira in November, now cost over 70,000 naira, putting a huge pressure on the consumers. The unprecedented increase in the prices of commodities has caused nationwide hardship, with residents of some major cities taking to the streets to register their displeasure. The organized labor on Friday, however, insisted on embarking on an industrial action to register its displeasure over the current economic hardship in the country.
Yeah, this one has affected everybody because there's no household in Nigeria that is not either depending on both gari and rice, you know. So
staples.
Yes, so this one that it is like this, I'm sure so many families will have to go hungry, and the government should do something about it because the prices cannot be going up like this while the salary, you know, remains the same way. Something needs to be done. Okay.
It's a sad one, very, very sad. Every day you wake up, check the papers, check the news headlines. It's one depressing story after the other, you know. One story that will make you feel, you know, have this gloomy feeling, you know, what's going on, what's happening to our country, what's happening to our economy. We hope for the better.
Yes, we do. Okay, the next story is on the ban on certain category of alcoholic drink. The Executive Secretary of the Distillers and Blenders Association of Nigeria, John Ichue, has called on the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, that's NAFDAC, to reverse the ban placed on the production of alcohol in sachet and PET bottles below 200 milliliters. On February 1, NAFDAC commenced the enforcement of the ban on alcoholic beverages in sachet, PETs, and glass bottles of 200 milliliters and below. The Director General of the agency, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, during a press briefing in Abuja, noted that as of January 31, 2024, no such beverages were registered with the NAFDAC. The producers lamented that they were finding it hard to adjust to the economic situation and that most of their members have scaled down to sachet, investing trillions of naira in that direction, thereby pleading with NAFDAC to reverse the ban. Okay.
The band. Okay.
You know this. You know this small one now. That somebody does speak, then
the sachet,
and moves on. I believe that it will sell more than the big bottles because it is affordable. One can just pick it on the go, and the small people.
And then the producers took advantage of it.
Yes,
to be able to sell their products.
And now with this ban, I want to believe it is hard on them.
I remember last week the Director General of NAFDAC saying, they had to ban those sachet distilled drinks because of, one, the content, so that they can check it, and two, so that young people, because of the price, it's affordable. Young people are abusing it, so they need to check when the time is nigh. They need to ban it so that
I don't know if there's no other way that could be achieved. I mean, checking the young people, controlling, and all of that. It's okay. So the second story, or the next story
tonight, a sad one here. The Chief Executive Officer of Access Bank, Dr. Herbert Wigwe, has been reported dead. The statement signed by the group company's secretary, Sunday Epuchi, read, "It is with deep sadness that the board of directors of Access Holdings PLC announced the passing of Dr. Herbert Wigwe, CRF, the company's founding group chief executive officer and former group managing director of its flagship subsidiary Access Bank PLC. Dr. Wigwe died alongside his wife and son Friday, February 9, 2024, in a helicopter accident in the United States of America. The entire Access family mourns the loss of Herbert, Doreen, and Cheesy. United States authorities said preliminary reports suggest that the wintry weather condition contributed to the crash. The president condoled with the Wigwe and Ogumbajo families, the business community, and all those impacted by this harrowing incident. President Tinubu prays for the peaceful repose of the departed and asks God Almighty to comfort the multitude of Nigerians who are grieving and the families of the deceased at this deeply agonizing moment.
That's a very sad one there, and we pray that God will comfort the families that they have left behind, and everyone, their associates, and all that they left behind, and that God will give their souls a peaceful rest. Okay,
all right, tonight Nigerians are waiting for top of the hour when the Super Eagles will meet the host team, Ivory Coast, for the finals. The world will this night be focusing on Africa as the final of the African Cup of Nations comes up at 9 p.m. this evening. Nigeria Super Eagles will square off against Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire in Abidjan. Yesterday night, Bafana of South Africa defeated DR Congo in a grueling penalty shootout. All right.
Okay, so the stage is set.
The stage is set. Nigerians look forward to that match. If you check out social media timelines, it's beaming with comments, beaming with memes. You know, I've seen the ones that interest me. I've seen the eagles in all shapes and colors, either defeating the elephant. You know, I've seen several ones. Funny. All in all, we are optimistic that the Super Eagles will do us proud.
Oh, please let's warn that if you know that you have any problem with your heart, or you have a raised BP, or you're somebody that watches these matches with your soul, because there are people like that, you know, please, can you just stay away? We don't want any more death. Stay away and wait for the results after the results are announced, you celebrate, please. And if you are watching, please just know that this is a football match. It's not a do or die thing. Don't kill yourself for anything. Okay, that's it for tonight. We thank you for your company, and we thank everyone that have contributed to make this a success. Kudos to Yagano Paul and the entire production team who made this cooking. Made this possible. Obong is there. I saw Samuel Boson and God's Time. I can see him over there, and everyone that contributed. Mercy, thank you.
Thank you too
for
being a lovely company.
Yeah. All right. Good night from us.